Okay, this is going to be a VOD review for Icey3, a Plat game here, Plat 3 game on Psylocke, and they want to know what they can do with things like target priority, cooldown management, and especially positioning, with a little bit of alt usage here. And the cool thing is Psylocke is a very dynamic character that allows you to position in a couple different ways. I am a Psylocke player myself, Psylocke and Magic, so great characters you picked there. Good job. They're really cool, they're really fun, and the cool thing is Psylocke is very flexible. She can be picked in almost any situation. She gets value out of just a ton of different things. Her kit is versatile, allowing her to do frontline poke damage, and then go in for assassinations. Her ult is powerful, and it's getting a buff soon, which is going to be ridiculous. And she's also a great flanker / solo carry type of heal, where if you have good timing and target priority, you can hard carry games with Psylocke. That said, you can also soft carry games with Psylocke. You don't always need to go in and get the big flashy eliminations. After this guide, I would recommend you go check one of my other videos that I've done on Psylocke, because I think that they'll be insightful for you. I previewed this game for you, and yeah, so let's get into it. First off, this is the new map as of this like a week or so ago, so it's really cool, right? There's a lot of new and interesting things for people to do, and a lot of new dynamics that this little cute cloud mechanic has added. Lots of new and interesting ways that we can play around having vision and not having vision. And I'm just showing some of the preview of the map here so that we can get some key points that are going to be really useful for not just flankers, right, but everybody in general. And this first point is really uniquely designed, with the waterfall that you can hide in below it, right? And then come out of at the flank next to the health pack, but then you have this sidey flank kind of route, and then you can also stand on top of this, right? And if you're a Jeffrey and you want to be up here, you might think the gable here stops you, but what you can actually do is this flat chunk of roof right here will knock out independently, so then you can go up the pillar and you can be up here and you can be all up on top of this. There's no invisible wall that's preventing you on this particular structure from standing on it. Now, when we play as Psylocke, first thing we always have to do is check our team to see what does our fight plan look like in general. So we have a Penny Parker, a Jeffrey, a Storm, a Captain America, and an Invisible Woman. So we have plenty of heals, and we have heals from Jeffrey that can get us almost anywhere he could see us, which is really good for us, because that means if we're in line of sight of our Jefferson, we can be getting plenty of healing, even if it's, you know, from forever far away, whereas Luna might have trouble hitting the shots, Invisible Woman has a range, Cloak and Dagger might have trouble hitting the shots. So that's great. Now we have really strong, like, choke denial with Storm and Penny. They can play together, and Storm and Jeff Nato is really good at fight win conditions, so we can look at that to help determine when we should ult. And then we can look at Invisible Woman and how she's going to play into the enemy team. So we can see that Invisible Woman's ult would be a great counter to Hela and her ult, because it's one, harder for her to shoot you, and two, it's going to be, you know, enough healing to get through it for most of the time. So we've got Sharknado win condition, we've got Penny to stall, and then we've got Captain America. Oh, cool! We have a buddy. We have a dive buddy. So what we can do is we can set up with Captain America. Now, I haven't played this point. This is a little spicy, right? This place is kind of goofy, and it's very interesting that the game designers put this level in the design that they did, right? Because it's almost asking to fight up here, and I think that we're going to see maybe higher levels. There's going to be some manipulation of this space with the health pack here, and then if you're not aware, down here, and all of this cloud cover where you can have like your entire team just trolling in here. So I don't know how this is going to shape out in the long run, but it's a very interesting design. from a general sense. So in the main choke here, this is where most people are going to be holding right now, right? And it's pretty interesting, right? Because we can hold up here, we can hold here with this health pack, we can hide under the water fountain, right, or waterfall, and wait for people to come through. There's this flank route, which gives more access here. Right now, most people are just stuck jamming down this choke point and down this choke point. So with that information, we can set up a Psylocke, and this is fine where you are. I don't know if I would want to be out here with Captain America. You could certainly get spicy and try, but it's going to be really on him for good timing. And, you know, unless you're queued with him, I don't know if I would trust that so much. So if you do that, you always have to, as with Psylocke, always plan for a way out. So we're going to see what you do here real quick. Farming your ult, this is fine. Uptime. Now, here's a general concept for the player base. This is called a left-hand peek, right? And the problem is our camera is jammed here, and we can see a lot of that rock, but not a lot around the corner. Whereas if we have a right-hand peek, we can still be in cover, but we can see a significantly larger amount of the battle while our character is still in cover. If you have the opportunity, anytime you have the opportunity, you always take a right-hand peek because it allows you to see them and shoot them before they can see and shoot you, and it gives you a better, safer view. So here we can see our Captain America's gone in, and I know the other reviewer just hit on this. Wolf decided to hit on this, which is great. You're standing here waiting for heals, but like we don't need to, right? Like they'll get to you eventually, and if they don't, you only took a little damage, which isn't the worst thing right now. So I would be still doing this. I would do this here, right? And there's obviously the health pack right here. As a flanker, a Psylocke, when you get to that play style, maybe experimenting, you're going to live off health packs. You should know where they all are. And that goes for a Captain America also. So here, you could be here shooting him. This is a much stronger position for you. And you shouldn't have let him walk in here without taking a boatload of poke damage because you're still relatively safe. You only took like 50 or 100 damage. And it's great that you noticed that because that's something that a lot of people have to work on. But fighting from the side against 1.5 people who are maybe looking at you, maybe not, with your Captain America is significantly less dangerous than this. The entire enemy team can see you. And this is one of the things that we really want to avoid on almost any character, almost any DPS, because tanks are the only people that can absorb this much attention and not just instantly explode, right? So by poking out here, they could like blast you just with spam damage. You get unlucky, you get dinked by Hela, get dinked by Mantis, and you're dead, right? So instead, if we're here, the only people that can reasonably interact with us right now are these two, right? Because nobody else can see us. I guess if one of those is the real Loki, I guess that's the real Loki. So nobody can reasonably interact with us if we're shooting here because we've angled these people off with cover. They can't do anything to us, so even if we don't have a lot of health, unless Strange is going to walk up and explode on us, we're sitting real pretty right here. And if he does, we can dash back in, hide in the waterfall, get healed, come back out, find something delicious. This is absolutely fine right here if we were to play this instead of falling back where we did. Okay, so by falling back, we're in the main choke. There's a lot of spam, and it's really dangerous. Instead, you see, they weren't probably even really aiming at us, and we almost died. Instead, we could still be just trolling them over here. Still trolling them over here. Now we see Captain America going in. Prime time. Let's go, dudes! Like, you know, give them some freedom punching, right? So this is playing dive, and the Marvel's community is just now starting to figure out how this works. And right now, the supports are having trouble with a single diver, with a single Venom Captain or Angela jumping on their face, or a single Black Panther. If you and Captain go on the same target at the same time, they are going to actually explode. So let's see what Captain punches over here and how well he does. And let's see if you would have been able to assist him with damage. All right, so punching Loki. Loki's falling back. Boom, boom, boom. Look, your Captain America did this. Your Captain America did all of this, right? And you can do it too by diving the back line, cutting off his heals. They have 3 supports, and this guy is about to rage, asking, why am I not getting heals? I need healing, I need healing, I need healing. And if you'd been back here, there's a great chance. Like, look, he got bubble out. There's a great chance you get even more. And with as low as she is, I think she's dashable right here. I'm like pretty sure she's dashable. And if not, dash melee dead, dash out. Dash back into here, get the health, kind of come back out, and just pester these guys. This guy is cooked. This guy's absolutely cooked, right? And that was just your Captain America. Your contribution was getting shot in the face and almost dying. Right. We've identified a flanker. Cool. This is our job right now, right? She's convenient, she's close, and there's nothing else for us to be doing at this exact moment that isn't putting us in more risk or could get us more value. Stopping her is primo. This is great, right? Perfect. Perfect. And she buggers off, and oh, unlucky. Mechanics check. Happens. We can't get too upset about that because we can always work on our mechanics and always grow our mechanics. Now we need to see, where are we going? Captain America set up here. She set up there. Very dangerous. If she come after us, right? If she uppercut us, she can actually 1-0 us, right? So instead of standing here, again, we don't know what's around that corner because we haven't scouted it yet. We would want to stand here, kind of by our team. And ideally, we're going to go to where I believe you go here in a minute. We start rotating, you know, using this as cover instead of standing here where the entire enemy can see us. We use this as cover. Maybe we use invisibility or a dash to get here, and then we move to here. But it's still good that you're marking this magic, right? Now you stand right in the middle. You know, if the enemy team had wrapped, you'd be possibly in trouble here, so we need to be careful of what's behind us, but that's the experience. Cool. Doesn't even matter what she did to you when she tethered you, just keep shooting at her. Like, yeah, you're tethered. It's, you know, it's still goofy. Perfect. Still in the middle of the enemy team. The second she looks at you like that, you need to absolutely get out of here. You either need to instantly dash behind her, she turns, dash again, and hopefully she's dead by then, or you just don't play the game anymore because she can just absolutely splat you. So it's risky, and then it's even more risky because we end here. So we could have done all of this from here, right?
Farewell.
Cool. This is good. This is great. Boom, 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 boom. Why do we go here? Well, you still have like almost half your health or over. Don't go there. Go here. Right? Now you're still over here. This is annoying. She doesn't want to be here while you're shooting her. But by dashing not only in front of the enemy team, but like over to your team, you've now allowed them to be here without any worrying that you're here. If you're here, you could have done another 100 damage to Doctor Strange very easily just existing. And look, your Jefferson can see you, right? You'll get healing, even if it's accidental because he's shooting the Strange. You'll get healing, right? Play it safe, right? And then, if you were over here already, look, Captain's in! Man, if you were playing off this Captain, if you were just watching what he was doing and doing it with him, you guys would have won this fight like 3 times already, right? Because he's in. And again, he is the reason Strange almost died. And if you'd been there, Strange 100% dies. Now, again, this is goofy. Like, they can all see you. This is bad. If more than like 2 people can ever see you as Psylocke, you better absolutely know why that's the case. And you better have really good justification for it, right? Otherwise, you're out of position. This is drastically out of position. You should die here. I don't think you do because this rank, they don't punish that. But you could be over here and be doing the same thing. And then you could walk over here and do the same thing, right? Wait until Strange gets right about here, fighting with your team, and then you go in. That's timing, right? That's a timing. See, again, we're just standing here taking damage, stressing out our healers. And yeah, we can spam them in there. That's great and everything, but even if we're playing the frontline Psylocke style, I'm a fan of the flanking Psylocke style. But even if you're playing frontline Psylocke, we'll go back here just to show you, articulate the example, right? Even if we're playing frontline Psylocke, right, which is I farm my ultimate, and then if I see a vulnerable target, I go in and kill it, I'm still playing here, right? To pump damage into that, and I'm still not going to peek my head out in front of my tank if I can help it, and especially not if there's a Hela there, right? I don't want to instantly die. So this, if you're going to farm your ultimate, play frontline Psylocke, is better, right? This is crazy. This is okay, right? And it's the difference between millimeters, and the higher rank you get, these differences become tighter and tighter and tighter until this is going to get you absolutely blasted by that Hela because she can see you and you don't have a shield tank or another tank in their face to prevent her from just clicking on you, right? Whereas then this is how you would do it from here because now she can't see you, but then you have to mind that she's going to be better and she's going to come up and challenge you. She's not going to let you sit here for free, right? So then you fall back. And this is how rotations work, and this is how angles work, and this is how your job works. It doesn't matter if it's a deep flank or not. You want to have cover. You want to be safe and not have the entire enemy team shooting at you, right? You want to have an exit plan when things go badly or good, and you want to know where you're going to go. So from here, I get shot. I don't want to go back to my team. They're all over there. I can duck in here, and if I don't think I can dash in here and grab this, right? And then I'm back in instantly, right? But by going back to our team, we're actually just making it easy for them to collapse on us and surround us and shoot us from every angle. Great that you're walking with this. Great. Cool, cool, cool. They're going to do what they're going to do. You know, this is weird. This is just some shenanigans. Sure. I mean, I don't know what you could have done about this, other than farm your ult up better. Now it's going to be interesting to see what you do with your ult. Okay, this is a very low chance of winning. Why does this have a low chance of winning? I haven't even seen this, and I'm pretty sure this is low chance. One, there's too many targets. Even with the buff, the ridiculous buff she's getting to her ult here in a week, there's too many targets here. You do 150 per swing currently. Next patch, I believe it's 170, which is wild. 150 per swing, twice a second. So you do 300 DPS. 2 supports solo in the right circumstance can out-heal your ultimate just standing in it. Let alone 150, 150, 150. It goes in sequence to every enemy in the group, and it will never hit the same person twice until the sequence is complete, right? There's no chance you're going to kill anyone here, right? Just because accidental healing here is going to prevent you from doing enough damage to kill anything, and they might have Loki Lamp. You didn't see if they used it or not. They might have Mantis Ult. You didn't see if they used it or not. You can assume she has it. And they have Cloak Fade, right? You didn't see them. They might have it. So this is a low percentage chance that this was going to happen. If you wanted to do this, you would have wanted to do it back here much later to try to get it before they push in and got the pick on your Jefferson. Now, what's the good thing that could come out of this? You can get a support ult. I would be very surprised if they don't panic and support ult. Higher ranks, they're not going to panic. But if you're banking on panicking, maybe. No, we don't even ult. So this is going to get a little harder, right? I like this. This is good. This is good. This is actually really good. You can kill Stormtrooper ultimate with yours, and it's even easier next time. But now why are we here, right? So actually, I liked what you were thinking. This is still really dangerous and kind of weird because you jumped in front of all these people and they should have just instantly killed you. But if that was your plan all along, bravo, that's great. Now, this is bad because you're in front of the entire enemy team again. Captain America's doing it right? So we could have used our ult and we could have ended over here, right? And is this a wall? I don't know if you can break this or not, but dash up here and do everything you're doing from up here. Be really pestery, right? Really pestery. Rotate over here. Captain's on this thing. We kill it, right? We go on it. And this is how you're going to win, because now maybe she turns to deal with you, both of you. You, if you got a good combo in, have already eliminated her, right? She's out. So then it's you and Cap on Hela. He hasn't even taken damage yet, right? And she's totally occupied with him. But we're not really doing anything right now. And that's the problem, right? And I think actually just now I just realized that your Icy and your Psylocke counterpart is Frost, which I don't, that's very interesting. Okay, so instead, we're in the middle of the point, we take a boatload of damage. Everybody in this game, until you get to much higher ranks, just loves standing in the middle of the point. Your Jeffrey is actually doing perfectly right now. He's isolating the angle so the enemy team can't shoot at him. He's in cover. He knows Psylocke's going. I'd be very interested to see if they get a little distracted. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so, but what are we doing? We have no contribution to this fight right now. Let's make a decision. In or out? In or out? This is waffling, and you really didn't have much of an impact on this entire fight because you decided, you kind of waffled around, you took a bunch of damage, then you were point, right? If you hadn't taken this damage, like, we're full life here, right? We're full life, we have a full dash. Let's get out of here. Like, I don't like this, right? Where's a good spot? Boom, right in here. Have the health pack. Right? I can play this wall. Right? I can pester these people that are trying to push up on us, right? I'm not taking damage. I'm not going to stress out my healer and bait them into doing something goofy. I'm going to allow them to focus on my Penny and keep her up. Right? It's unlikely that you win this fight, Captain America or Penny ult, but See what happens? Instead, while all of this stuff we're doing, we could do some cover, right? We almost die. And Jefferson looks away from Penny, trying to keep us up, which is a tragedy, because if he hadn't, Penny was 4% from ultimate. Maybe Jefferson, also over here, would have had an angle to put on maybe just a spritz on Captain, who is also just a skosh away from his ultimate, right? Now we need to make a decision. Are we in or out? This fight is now pretty much over. They had a relatively clean fight win, and the ults that we have coming back are not going to be fast enough unless they portal, and even if they are, I don't think trading out here is going to be the play, right? And yeah, getting out is, I think that's what should happen here, because it's very unlikely both your trains, or anyone on your team is going to be switched to trains to counter this. Now you should be hitting tab and finding out if that's the case, but this is fine. Now, this cart automatically pushes from here all the way over to here. See how it says auto on the cart up top here? There's nothing you guys can do to stop this cart at this point, so it's okay to just try to hold this area, and it's especially okay for you to try to set up on something, right? Cool, cool. We made him blow his cooldowns, but why? I don't necessarily think diving in front of our team is the play here, right? You've made him blow his cooldowns. We got a little bit of healing. You know, this is more of a closed angle because this pillar covers us, right? Right? We could go actually through here and get this, right? But instead, it's a little goofy to go through the enemy team, through the main line of fire here, and put ourselves in danger. And honestly, you still had a little life to play with, but I respect the fact that yet again you're aware of your life. It's just you're not aware of how dangerous the places you are standing in are, right? And you can't do anything from here, right? This other Psylocke, she's got the rotation on you, right? Right? What's this other Psylocke doing? This other Psylocke is doing what I would love to see you doing. She's back here. She's like, aha, that's important. Oh, that's dead because it's not looking at me, right? Look, she's perfectly safe. She's perfectly happy to stand here and pester your backline. This is the kind of stuff you should be doing. Aha! A kill presents itself. And now, she's just bullying us. This Psylocke just won this fight single-handedly. I don't care what your Captain America's doing. I don't care what you're doing. She, single-handedly, just like ripped your backline apart, standing here, tapping mouse 1. These are the things you should be doing. That's what I was trying to articulate on the first one. Go further. Okay, we're back in. This point is goofy. For those who haven't seen this or aren't super familiar, the cart goes up here, and it caps once it gets about into the center of this. But there are multiple avenues to get it around. If it gets stalled out here, God help you, because it gets really goofy. The defenders spawn here, and it's not super close, but with the windiness of it, it's not super far either. It's a very interesting design for the map. Now, this gives us some options. We can go up here, and we can drop on them, right? We can go here if they're not watching it, and come up behind them, or we can outflank them there, right? So we can also go through this doorway here, out the back, you know, the long way or the short way, and get behind them. So we have a lot of options as a flanking character to get behind them. Sure, you're marking the Psylocke, that's okay. She blows her ultimate, going for Jefferson, that's perfect, this is great, yeah, this is great. You're done. After he blew rune, you were done. Your mission was accomplished. The second he hit green, you overstayed a little bit. You can do nothing about that. By the time you kill both of the runes, you'll be either dead or in a really bad spot. Little sooner would have been good on that. Dangerous dashing right towards her. If you wanted to cover the distance, dash sideways towards her to get closer. Luckily, you had a lot of advantages here, starting from the high ground. You did dash slightly to the side, but be very careful if you're dashing towards something like a Hela, because they will absolutely blast you. Cool, now what are we looking for? I love shooting the Loki clone. Important. Cooldown for him. Now, time to stage. Time to stage. Where's the bad guys come from, right? They come from here. And there's a door up here that leads to a very roundabout, not useful area. Huh, come to find out. I didn't even know where that was. We're exploring the map together, right? Okay. So this is going to be the new main choke. And I believe this pillar gets knocked out. So this is going to be the new main choke where they're going to try to get, because they don't have easy access to high ground unless they're flying or have mobility to get up to here, right? Which also means that you can be up here waiting for them to go this way, because we know that they're going to go that way. This is the setup time. This is making downtime uptime. There's no fighting. You're not even in the poke phase yet. Get to a good spot. Where are those good spots? Up here could be a good spot. You know, hide up here for a second. Let them push in. You know, be much better if the cart was pushed up to where you're standing now, because then they have to kind of come around and you can just pop out and be like, hi nerds, ta-ting, 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 and then you can escape, you know, down here. Or if you get an advantage, you can start pushing the advantage. Again, this is an interesting level design, right? Because they've given the attackers the opportunity to get here, but they've left a corner, right, for you to camp in. So if you hear someone coming, you can come up here and he'll start shooting there, and then you combo her and she dies, right? So they unluckily get your storm. Yeah, I don't agree with it, but again, look, it gets support ults out, right? That's one of the great things that Psylocke's ult can do, is it gets support ults out like crazy, right? It's a very high value to make them blow those, and they really don't want to. The problem with it is, you gotta be really careful. Okay, never do that. You gotta be really careful doing it from the front, because you can just get, like, absolutely blasted. Almost never, ever, ever will you dash straight in. You will just die more times than you would imagine. By dashing straight at head level at them, they click, everybody on their team freaks out, clicks once, you're dead. Or you're CC'd and interrupted and all that. If you're going to do this play, first, maybe start here. Or if you're cheeky and hiding in the cloud, but then just straight up and then drop on them. Right? Almost always with Psylocke, are you going to try to come in from an upper angle so that you can drop on them, so that you don't get CC'd or insta-killed, right? Now, yeah. Yep, we got out one of their ults, went too deep. Cool, cool, cool. But it was late because we had picks on our team, which is unlucky, right? They came around. What happened? Let's watch it one more time. Great, super great, done, damage, danger's good. It's okay, we should be setting up now. We've cleaned off her flank. Rough that she dies there. Yeah, like, it's great that you got the ult out. I don't really mind it because you got that ult out.
This will do nicely.
And then they won't have it for good that you're standing here. It's not your job to solve the point. However, doing it. But because nobody pushed up with us, because Penny didn't push up with us, because Captain was doing Captain things, you know, they got it. That's fine. Look, we got some ults out, and we got that. So now we're in the setup phase again, right? So where can we set up on this, right? We can be in here. I don't exactly know the layout of this, but we can be in here to come up behind them, right? We can be over here to come up behind them. This is very porous over here. These are the old spawns. It's the health packs here, right? We can start using these to kind of creep behind him and find angles depending on where our team is going to lock up. And right now our team is going to lock up here. So that means our best angles are going to be here. Or somewhere here, or looping around behind with access to the back line here. That's what our angles are going to be, right? And like I said, the frontline farm playstyle is okay. It's just harder when Penny is right? But once Dr. Strange gets here, it's right?
We are undefeatable!
Good that you're not letting him get away with that. We're distracted, right? If she's over here, like, she's not going to do anything regardless. So let's make sure our team can get the cleanup. But that's fine. We're marking her. Don't mind that at all. Perfect. Chomp damage. Perfect. Did we get anything? Oh, we didn't look for Loki lamp. Okay, so getting lamp out with your ult isn't really worth it. Shooting Loki in the face, having him lamp, and then ulting, that's worth it, right? Because that's going to get a counter ult somehow, right? But lamp is a huge cooldown. If it's not sure that it's worth it. Love that you're again. And this is where frontline Psylocke can really take dividends, because you're allowed to do it now to get the strain and getting really tight kill points. But they're also not abusing this, right? This Psylocke should be here, or here, like, ASAP. This is a little risky. I'm not sure if I agree with this. Again, we're standing in front of the enemy team, going back and forth. Look at this from here, right? We'll slow it down. Right. So we come in. I love that we're in, right? But then we get this. Now look. We're in the direct gaze of all of these people as we walk out too far here, and then we just kind of turn our back on all of them, which we've stepped out of cover, and this is like nitpicky. This is nitpicky, but it's important. We stepped out of cover, and now we want to avoid doing that. Hella is so dangerous, and you are so disrespectful. That Hella is so dangerous to you, and you are so disrespectful to her that I'm just really surprised.
By the eye of Agamotto!
She's distracted by your strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you're lucky she can't aim, and you're lucky that she has pretty bad movement. She should have killed you there. And super ballsy. She was distracted. You got her, but look, Mantis can dink you. She can dink you. Loki can splash you, and you're dead. You're just insta-killed. So this is really dangerous, right? And if you're going to do it, you want to do it from places like this.
I wish I had done it myself.
It's great that you got the Mantis out here. This is just absolutely wonderful. I love that you also have a dash to walk back. I don't love the fact that you landed in front of your team and then stayed out of cover in the main choke when there's this right here that you could have dropped behind, or even, like, maybe I didn't see your dash length up here. Those would have been better, because then you wouldn't be at risk of getting absolutely obliterated by Thor.
Do your worst.
Again, it's risky, but this is just goofy. You should be dead. She should kill you. She stuns you, you die. She's just letting you get away from with murder, right? We can't continue to disrespect players like this if we don't want to die. So, like, you know, and then we go back to our team when we take damage. Again, it's really awesome that you notice when you've taken damage. That's huge, but you're not going to notice that you've taken damage because you're going to be dead if as you rank up and you start playing in places like this. And farming your ultimate, whatever, and then they see me. Perfect.
0-2-2.
I haven't figured any of this. This is fine. I mean, you just kind of left him alone. You got healed up. Like, I guess he backed up too, right? But you don't want him to get on your supports for free, right? That's how your tank stops getting heals, right? And you're going to be the only one to do it. He could be doing a lot of damage here. He could be making your lives very uncomfortable. And if he was better, he would be, right? He should not have left once he saw you bugger out. He should have played this corner more and really made their life more difficult than he did, right? But your Magneto's getting walked on. He didn't do that. You didn't do that. That's fine. Okay, we went up top. We took a bunch of damage or something.
Enemy in front.
I would have kept going. Get in there. Why are we running away? Why? We just let him bully us out, and he has half his life. And we are full, right? Why? We bully him out into here, then the supports, one or more, have to either start spending cooldowns or stop healing these two. Right? Look at how low she is, and let's see how long it takes. She does whip around and heal him, but like now Strange isn't even full, right? Because this guy's taking so much damage from the rest of your team. So you should have absolutely pressed this advantage. And if you didn't like it, grab the health pack and get in here, and then look to get sneaky and come out on this side, right? Instead, we're defaulting to the safety of our team, which is, in fact, not safe because the enemy Psylocke dropped on us, I'm assuming, and absolutely toasted us. And this is the kind of stuff you could have been doing in the first round by coming around from the side and pestering from the side, from coming from the top and dropping down on them, right? She absolutely just smoked you, right? Punisher's doing Punisher things, whatever. Eventually he runs out of ammo, right? Okay, where are we now? Okay, same thing. Yep, go in with that. They're blowing ults. Keep farming, downtime. Why are we over here? I know, we're feeling safe because our teammates are... We saw Hella bugger off, right? We were fighting her. Why are we here? We're full life. Hella buggered off. Jeff Nato's coming in. This is prime time to go farm ult, cause chaos, right? Instead, we haven't done anything, right? You could have had 80% to your ult by now. You could be 90. You could be 100, right? I mean, you had a invisible woman shield there. You could fight her. You could have fought her there. You saw the entire enemy team was over here. It's a 1v1, but you have a shield, right? I don't know. I'd think about fighting it. And you'll learn when to take those duels and when not to, and when you can or not. But you can't be too scared of the DPS. Again, I do love that you know what your health is, your health situation. See, this is perfect. Oh, I would have so ulted the crap out of her. I would have landed almost exactly. I would have just like, oh really? Blap! And then I would have walked right into their team and pushed them out. Unfortunately, that your team was not on board with that, so maybe I wouldn't have done that because what happened to your team? And I'm talking too much to pay attention to the game. Yeah, I don't think that there was much of a play here because your team is still regrouping. So, unlucky for you.
Our enemies are near.
What am I? Invisible?
I'd like to see us chill out here. Value it, perfect. He wants to drop on your team. He pushed you out that time. Yeah, and we did respect it because he was in our danger zone. We were in the splash zone for him. Okay, we go Bucky. What's going to be our play on Bucky? Oh, interesting.
A little help, please.
I don't think you needed to switch off Psylocke here. I think everything was fine with your Psylocke play. I don't think the situation was so dire. But I do... Well, you could have stayed up there a little longer. You should have definitely stayed up there and shot for longer. There is zero reason for you to drop out on that. It just kind of puts you in a rough spot where you're in the middle of the enemy team, right? It's a bad habit that people have. So we'll just see what happens here. We go Magic, another one of the characters I play. Yet again, Bucky wasn't bad there either, right? We only gave it one push. But if we're more comfortable on the Magic, we're not losing any ult charge or any time, so it's fine. Again, Magic is even more dependent on good positioning and getting close to the targets than Psylocke is, because she's only got her dash for vertical mobility, and her horizontal mobility is more limited, right? And so she cannot as easily access places as Psylocke can, and she has no real ranged pressure. She can throw her noodle, but that's not healing. So again, we're kind of... Okay, first thing I saw I didn't like. So we're kind of like not committing to going somewhere, right? We just stand in the middle and don't do anything. Now, you use your twirl instead of your demon here.
Just in time. Thanks.
And we know he's up there, so go get him. Right? Go get him. You see all these people here? Sidestep, love it. Demon. On top of his face. Slightly angled towards your invisible woman. Because your demon does a metric boatload of damage. So, demon right here at your invisible woman. That way he's taking it as your as he's attempting to do his damage, and then instantly uppercut him. You're gonna chonk the hell out of him, right? He's gonna be missing a boatload of his life, and you might just save hers, right? But he buggered off, and, you know, that's kind of unlucky. But you could have had a more positive impact on the situation. Okay, downtime. Staging. So, what do we have? We have our dash. Cool. Why are we here? Well, we have downtime while we're waiting for people. Get up here. Kind of chill out. Maybe chill out here. You know, whatever. We're just waiting. We're waiting for our team to get back. Now, we can peek this, or we can deepen it, go here, and find somebody juicy, right? Our Doctor Strange is tilted. We need to be spamming back. He's trying to 1v6 this, but, you know, maybe we could have participated. You know? And the crazy thing is, it kind of works. right? And imagine how much smoother it would have been if we were just kind of keeping up with it. It would have been much less risky for him to have to give us speeding instead of just... Perfect.
I promise we'll
Perfect.
one story to another.
I like the try. You heard her. Perfect. You have good awareness. You have really good awareness. The details. Alright, so here we might have thought it of, instead of standing on the point for so long, we might have thought of setting up a little better, because like I said, standing in the middle of the point doesn't really do a whole lot for us. And yes, we cap further, but if we can prevent them or delay them from getting on for free, that's going to be better, and we especially don't want to be in the front. We could play here, or I think I might have tried to set up here and to see what was going to happen. If I don't like it that way, I can teleport and drop off this way, and then I can come up and challenge anyone coming in here. And if they come out here, I can either fight them in, or I can, like, again, drop and get out, or I can press it, or if they're all below me, then I can get above them and I can drop on whoever I want. I can pressure challenge people here if they come in. I've got a lot of options right here, and now my dash is cooling down, so I'll have it again if I need it, right? But down here, I can be surrounded. They can shoot me from up here. They can shoot me from up here. They can shoot me from over here. Like, you're getting the idea, right? This is really not great for us, especially because I'm a melee character. So now I can either get shot here trying to get to somebody, or I can hide behind the turtle and do nothing, right? Those are bad choices, right? So we want to be up here. You know, the support should be playing further back, and it's now Magneto's job. The support shouldn't probably even be on the point. And yet again, cool that you're killing Hela, right? Great. You know, we're getting into do or die time. I don't know. I'd love to try it first. I would have probably ulted this, like that, and that's one of the reasons I would have set up here. I would have set up here, saw something, maybe gone for it, blew my first round of cooldowns, hid, Dark Child. Now they have to look at me or I kill their entire team, right? Because I get to let it absolutely rip. Now, you need to be thinking of what your next move is, and that's going to be to, for staging, right? So it auto pushes all the way up to that waterfall. It pushes all the way up through, like, right here before you even need to look at the card. It will do nothing. So what can we do? Perfect. Love it. Staging. Great, 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 great. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. No. Bad. I do this too, but not this bad. One of my bad habits is ripping my ult before I know what I'm ripping it on. I know they're there somewhere, but you don't even know that they're somewhere. You're just, like, crossing your fingers that someone's being really goofy. You saw one person up there. What are you even going to get to? Okay, so now you've used every single cooldown, right? Even if you kill him here, it's not really going to buy you that much more cart push, right? Right, because the cart's going to push, like, until you get here. If you get a pick or something here and you trade it out for your life, who cares? They spawn here. They're going to be able to, you know, make it just fine. You know, at best you're at a little bit of a spawn advantage, but you've ripped all your cooldowns. This is just really low percentage. This might be frustrating. Nope. This was very silly, and I think you know it was very silly. Cool, cool, cool. What are we doing? We need to set up. We need to stage. We are really bad at this. What do we need to do? We need to get on an off angle. We can go up here and stage to drop down on them, right? I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess we can go here and get ready to combat them from this side, but we do not want to spend any amount of time here in the middle because we're just not good at it. Yeah, this is bad. So we could be going here and seeing what's happening here. That looks much better than this, right? This looks much more appetizing. Whereas if we're here, we can't really do anything. We can't fight the things that we want to fight because we got Doctor Strange in front of us. We got 10 guys on the side, right? Cool. Now we can't even fight. Good that you didn't go in without the Jeff window starting, though. But it would have been so much more lethal. It would have been so much more lethal if you had gone off onto the right flank there. Right? Cool, cool, cool. Someone needs to be pushing you. Might as well be doing it right now. Not generally your job. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, did we use our dash? Is that why we did that? Oh, I don't know, man. I'm kind of greedy. Oh, I guess the wall isn't there. Yeah, I guess it would have probably been a bad idea. There's a world where you just get the ego on and you just blow her up, though. you dash, you portal, dash, twirl, uppercut, melee, and you drop her to like 0 hit points. But you made a conservative play, and I respect that. What I don't respect is this. Why are we going back here? We are okay right here to look for our next victim, right? She's over us, right? We're not even fighting her, so now we've let the enemy push us all into this tiny choke. All of their attention is now only dedicated to right here. I don't know about you, but I would rather shoot everything in front of me here than have to worry about magic jump scaring me from right here or right here and insta-killing me like you could do to her. Prime target right here, right? Look, I bet you money they don't even check there. For like, I don't even know if they check there when their Psylocke is there. Let's find out.
I'm hurt. Thanks so much. So cold. I like the cold. I'll get you next time.
Yeah, she doesn't even know you're there. You're there, you dash at the Psylocke, and she still doesn't know you're there.
Why would I need
Right? Psylocke forces, yeah, that's fine. If you want to play conservatively and you save your dash, then you could dash back to your team or down. But she doesn't know you exist, right? Blow her up. She just walked right into you, right? Because you were playing here, which is much more aggressive, but it gets you closer to your target, right? See, and this is spooky because we're dashing straight into the enemy team. Perfect, perfect. I'd portal and drop a demon there just to get in the enemy.
I'm ready to put on a show.
Perfect. Now I would not perfect because you're just moving that up. Those squirrels be good. Nice. Now, staging. Where do we want to go? Where do the bad guys come from? They come from the next point, which is the last cap around there, right? So we want to be setting up for them to start spawning here and look for any stragglers if there are any, as we can safely push forward. So we would start clearing this out, see if there's any dum-dums hanging out by themselves here that we can blow up, and then help hold this space, because then if somebody does stupidly walk in here, we can blow them up, right? And if we die doing it, then our spawn is right here, so it takes us just as long to respawn and walk back as it does to walk from here to here, right? So we don't lose anything by being aggressive right now, but we could gain something huge if there's a straggler for us to pick up. Use cooldowns, I would be in that. I would already be here and then up to the next corner in that cloud, maybe even further. Now you're going, it's just you're taking too long to get there, and while you're taking this long, any opportunity to pick up a straggler is already gone. Now, be careful when you're walking around. This is great. Jiggling like this is really bad, right? Because they can hear that. They can hear you making these sounds, and good players are going to react to that. Right? I would have... This is so premature. Why is this premature? This is where dive tanks, dive DPS, and assassins, this is where timing is very, 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 very critical, okay? So unless you knew a timing window where she didn't have her ultimate yet, which I highly doubt that you knew she was only 10 away. I would be assuming she had it if I didn't see it in the last fight. This is trolling the lobby. Why? Because you're way, 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 way too early, right? You want this guy and this guy to be throwing magnets at each other, asking, how the hell is this supposed to work? How do I go forward? You want her shooting into here. You want these people healing, avoiding the squirrel spam, right? And then you let it go. But this is so early. Look, literally everyone on the enemy team is going to look right at you now. And if you get any kills here, it'll be a miracle. And the best that you're doing is kind of tanking, because at least they're all paying attention to you, right? But that's a pretty big gambit for not just getting actually blasted with Magneto booping you and covering people, somebody netting you here, Hella stunning your feet and blowing you up, Luna Snow blowing you up, right? This was a play that had good results, but it was very unreliable. See, right there, they could have done that in your ult. You're not any tankier technically, right? You get more overhealth, but this might have seemed like a great play. This was not a great play. This was a risky play, right? We don't want risky plays. We want the more guaranteed play, and the more guaranteed play would be to let them actually lock up a little bit so that your team can start fighting them as you do the same thing, as you still have these people all looking at you, doing the exact same thing, getting the exact same type of value. But now these people in front have your team looking at them already. So now they either look at you and get shot in the back, which they weren't being, right? Or they look at your teammates and you tear up their backline, right? You absolutely go crazy on their backline, and arguably you would have gotten more success if they had if they had this thing, right? And instead we get Jeff NATO, nom nom, and that was great. So let's talk about just let's just close here with a couple observations. So first observation is we need to be making a decision on whether or not we're front spamming here or we're off angling. In this situation with the Captain America, I would 100% be looked to go in when this guy's going in. Same with the Black Panther, same with the Spider-Man, although Spider-Man's hard because he's super, super fast. But if you see your Captain or your Venom setting up to dive the backline and you kind of think it's a good idea, go with them. I guarantee you'll win tons of games just 2v1ing people in the back because they instantly die, and then you're a man up, and then somebody else dies, and then you're a man up, right? Cooldown management was pretty okay, and it's mostly just your rotations. It's like, where can I be as annoying as possible, as safe as possible, or as dangerous while being as safe as possible, right? And usually there's some combination of all of those things, right? Yeah, definitely, you're definitely on a great track. I cannot stress how awesome it is that you are aware of how much damage you're taking. That is such a hard skill for people to learn, and that's just great. Now let's add the next piece. Let's add the timing. Is my team fighting? Can I go in without the entire enemy team looking at me? Which is that last ultimate, right? This is poor timing. Good results, poor timing, right? Can I go in while the teams are fighting? So it's not early, so they all look at me, so it's not late, so somebody on my team gets blasted, right? So that's timing. Can I access a good target from a safe spot without getting slammed down? And just be more aggressive in general, because you keep defaulting to your team. It's okay. You're a flanking assassin with a boatload of mobility. Play health packs. Live in their head rent-free, man. Just getting these people to like turn around on you and blow their cooldowns on you just wins games. My favorite example, gonna give the short version, I was like 6 and 7 on Psylocke. We were hard stomping them. People were flaming me in chat because, you know, swap Psylocke, you're not doing anything. Well, you know what I was doing? I was having the two supports patty cake each other every single time the moment a fight actually started, because if they didn't, I would kill one of them, right? The entire fight, they had to deal with the choice of either healing each other, letting me get one of them, and healing their team. They did not like that choice, and they did not manage it well at their skill level, right? Nobody was helping Peel. So why do I care what my kills are, right? I'm winning the game. They're not healing anybody. My team is now one person up, fighting a 5v4, and the 4 that they're fighting have no supports. So they're just going to lose by attrition, right? Other than that, great job. Like, this is really cool. You're gonna definitely rank up, and I wish you nothing but luck. Please let me know if you have any questions, but thumbs up, man. Great job.